Now, fans of macarons and puking babies, it's time to break down all of the Easter eggs, Star Wars references, and best moments from The Mandalorian: The Siege, aka S2E4. Alright, we kick things off with a callback to the child's soup ball moment from S1E4 when we see him and his big daddy having some chow. Din even cheats a little by lifting his helmet. This is not the way, you cultist. We then get to see the outline of the Mythosaur door decoration from the Mando covert featured in Season 1. Neat. The armorer may be gone from the sewer layer, but she's been replaced with some Aqualish thugs, the same aliens as Ponda Baba from the infamous Cantina dust-up in A New Hope. I guess I have to list the reappearance of both Cara Dune and Greef Cardboard, but seems pretty obvious, so I'm doing it for the angry commenter types. Grease Mechanic / Imperial Spy is the same alien race as Gunny from the Star Wars Squadrons game, but clearly he's a dick, unlike the New Republic pilot. When the child is taken to school, we see a protocol droid instructor who also drops a litany of Star Wars location references, such as Carillion, the Hydean Way, the Old Republic, Coruscant, Chandrilla, and even the Akadis Maelstrom and Kessel, which is the same Maelstrom old Han Buddy navigated like a parsec-shaving boss in Solo. Mithril, played by Horatio Sands, returns, and he bitches about carbonite sickness and sight troubles. He and Han should start a Frozen and Carbonite survivors group. Speaking of Mithril, he has a land speeder and it sounds like Luke Skywalker's and sorta looks like his too, albeit with more engines and a nicer body. We get to see the Trexler Marauder again, an Imperial Trooper transport last seen in the end of last season and in Star Wars Rebels. Speeder bikes! Greef jacks an Imperial code cylinder, which are the spherical devices we always see Imperial officers with in their uniform pockets. Alright, so the whole lab scene is chock full of interesting, starting with the clone body that is focused on, which definitely has Snoke-like features. We also get to see Dr. Pershing again and hear him refer to an M count, which is referring to midichlorians. Thanks, George. I actually did a bit of speculation on Pershing, the child's blood, and what the Imperials may be up to last season, and after this scene, some of my thoughts may not have been too far off. So rather than re-speculate on what may be going on with the child, his force blood, cloning, etc., please check those out. They'll be linked in this video's description. I believe this is the first TIE pilot we've seen in the series, at least in action, so I'm including him. Good old Captain Carson Teva makes an early return, and he drops an Alderaan mention while also leaving Cara a New Republic badge of some sort. Oh boy, the end scene was a doozy as we got Gideon in the flesh, but more importantly, we got to see what appears to be a room full of dark or shadow troopers. Again, if you check out my old vids on what the Imperials may be up to with this Force blood, these could be the super soldiers I speculated on a year ago. But the fact that the Force blood transfusions are failing pokes holes in that theory. If anything, these things may be filled with genetically enhanced clone bodies, or they're robotic, because they're a bit large to be standard Star Wars humanoids. And now for the Siege's best moments. Okay, the child is clearly the comedic relief device this season, and he didn't disappoint in this episode. His cute antics start out with him trying to be an electrician. Any parent who has tried to explain even the most basic of tasks to a child will appreciate this opening scene. I also love the follow-up moment where they're drinking their soup together and how Din tips his helmet just enough to drink soup in front of his ward. I just love these two together. Yep, my next favorite moment was the child's first day at school. In particular, his force grab of a kid's macarons. This little guy is driven by hunger, not the Force. Yoda would not be pleased. The whole lab scene was pretty informative without giving away much of the greater picture yet. I like that we finally got some more insights into what Gideon and Pershing are up to with the child's blood, and like I said earlier, a few of my speculations from last year are still holding up thanks to this scene, and the reveal that the Imperials are trying to infuse Force-rich blood into test subjects. Please check those vids out again, as I believe they're still quite relevant. I found the entire transport chase scene to be thrilling, action-packed, and just well shot by cast and crew. Carl Weathers was great during the whole scene, and you know here at the SWTS we love us some Grief Cardboard, so it was a blast to see him in action and listen to Carl's smooth performance. Alright, at this point, people may think Din ain't got jack on Bo-Katan's fighting skills, and while that may be true, she ain't got shit on his piloting skills. I mean, the dude is basically flying a short bus wrapped in tinfoil, yet he gets it to maneuver as if it were an X-Wing. I just loved his surprise save, the child looking like it was on a roller coaster ride, the 2 dogfight kills, and of course the kid's blue vomit and Din's cockiness over his piloting skills. And finally, I have to mention Gideon's Dark Troopers, Shadow Troopers, Super Soldiers, or whatever you want to call them. I love the reveal and the possible implications they have for his Force experiments and for our heroes, who we know are now tracked and will be leading Gideon right to another Force sensitive on the planet of Corvus. Da da da! Make sure to tune in to the next episode of the Star Wars Time Show, in which myself and my co-host Nick will fully break down the siege and give our thoughts on it as a whole. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subbing to our YouTube channel. We'd also love for you to join in with our weekly Star Wars podcast. So use the links in this video's description or head to StarWarsTime.net to subscribe to the platform of your choice. There's always time for Star Wars Time, and remember, if you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, the Force will be with you, always.